This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Parents urge to ensuring safer internet at home. Concern on cybercrime and cybersecurity. A National Education Department launch program in Vanimo. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The government agency responsible for regulating and licensing of information communication technology, the National Information and Communications Technology Authority, marked a global celebration of Safer Internet Day today. Minister for Information Communication and Technology, Timothy Masiu, called for a collaborative approach with parents urged to take a more proactive role in ensuring safer internet within homes.
For 2 decades, the Safer Internet Day has been celebrated on a global level annually on Tuesday, the 7th of February. For PNG, however, the internet is still seen as a relatively new technology, and while many see it as a blessing, many also see it as a negative intrusion into our society, given it has opened up the world to the country, and with it comes the positive and the negatives.
Through the Internet Safe Day campaign, NICTA as the sectorial regulator is responsible in ensuring that as many citizens as possible are made aware of how to protect themselves, their families, and communities from the potential harm of internet.
As the internet becomes more accessible and more affordable, issues pertaining to the use of the internet arise. A report from Google Trends in 2015 revealed PNG as the most pornography-obsessed country in the world. In recent years, smartphones have allowed developing countries to leapfrog computer technologies and connect once isolated communities to a new world of explicit images and footages, which led to the call by the Minister for Information and Communication and Technology, Timothy Masiu.
Internet Day aims to create both a safer and a better internet, where everyone is empowered to use technology responsibly, respectfully, critically, and creatively. The campaign aims to reach out to children and young people, parents and carers, teachers, educators, social workers, and every responsible Papua New Guinean citizens, as well as the industry, decision makers and politicians, to encourage everyone to play their part in creating a better internet.
The PNG Department of Information and Communication Technology Deputy Secretary Digital Government and Information Delivery, Russell Waruba, spoke for the need for collaborative efforts.
Re-echoing under the leadership of our dear Minister, we have the National Cybersecurity Policy, and we have a National Cybersecurity Center that is operating, that helps to coordinate our relationship with key agencies of government. We just want to emphasize again that we obviously need to agree that there is much more we can do, and it will only come through partnership with key stakeholders.
According to the Minister for Communication, Information and Technology, Timothy Masiu, Safer Internet Day awareness will be carried out through mainstream media targeted at parents throughout the general public. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
In a fast-paced world where technology advances and internet users increase, poses the concern on cybercrime and cybersecurity. In order to address the challenges of cybercrime and the impacts it has on the growing technological world, including Papua New Guinea and the Pacific Island countries, Commonwealth Judicial Head with PNG Centre for Judicial Excellence held a conference in Port Moresby's Hilton Hotel to discuss these measures.
Representatives from the Pacific Island countries, including United Kingdom and the Commonwealth Judicial System, gathered at Hilton Hotel for a 3-day conference which began today to discuss ways to address cybercrime.
For PNG and the Pacific Islands.
PNG Chief Justice and the chairman of Judicial Center for Excellence welcomed everyone to this conference as the host nation.
I again encourage each of us to take this opportunity to share ideas and build on our existing knowledge so as to be more impactful in our various jurisdictions at the end of this conference. I welcome you all to this conference and wish you a very productive and enjoyable time while here in Port Moresby.
The head Rule of Law Commonwealth Secretariat, Dr. Tawanda Hondora, highlighted the significance of hosting this important cybercrime conference in Papua New Guinea for the first time.
Our hope is that this conference will enable judges from all member countries in the Pacific to discuss the challenge posed by cybercrime, including the attacks made by criminals against judicial systems. And we hope that the conference will enable us to have solutions. And it will also create within the judges themselves an opportunity of sharing experiences.
Sir Gibbs Salika says there are a lot of cybercrime activities happening around us on a daily basis, which affects businesses and individuals. Therefore, this conference aims at uniting everyone together to discuss and learn to mitigate this issue. The 3-day conference will end on Thursday, 9th of February 2023. Thomas Suliambari, National EMTV News.
Day 2 of Prime Minister James Marape's visit to Chimbu Province. He has announced 5 million kina funding for the Kerawagi district in Chimbu Province to upgrade and seal the Keronigel to Kerawagi Road that links the district to the Highlands Highway. Marape also cut the ribbon to open the newly refurbished and built Kerawagi district headquarters and appealed to the local leaders to address law and order issues.
The national government has presented a total of 15 million kina to the Chimbu provincial government after formally launching several priority projects in the province. Prime Minister James Marape presented a 10 million kina cheque to the Chimbu Governor Noah Cool at the Dixon's Oval in Kundiawa and 5 million kina to the Kerawagi district at Kerawagi Station.
Finance Minister, ikaram ang 5 million each na given mga district, including Islamic Kerawagi district, continue on good work.
The road will be constructed by Chimbu-based local contractor Kaya Works, who is already doing the clearing mobilizing work on upgrading work along that road.
Focus on it because majority you start with less. Likely also start with mostly lay or venison. That is why we will focus the next 5 years to get up in school law, each district and province, get up in housing law, each district and province, giving money to SME, coffee, agriculture, SME, long district and province, and of course, ensuring that Jimmy Ogada, Iran, a stop good place with a good law and environment. Today we come to give support.
The Prime Minister also appealed to the people of Kerawagi to go into agriculture and help do their part in the development of the district and the country and not to wait for handouts from the leaders and national government. The Prime Minister also urged local leaders, including ward councillors, to support the national government's national housing and population census and address issues at the community level.
You got work, council got work, president got work, member got work, governor got work, public servant too, you got work.
The national government set to fund and resource national roads and institutions of the provinces and leave the district programs for the open MPs. Priority programs on law and order, health and education, growing the local and rural economy through the support of the SME sector, funding and infrastructure buildings, roads to link districts to the provinces and provinces to provinces, included in the government's key economic Connect PNG program. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Trukai Industries Limited is proud to announce its Momase winner for the True Adventure Hilux promotion. Jenny Anapato from Kantiba in the Morobe province is a proud winner of Trukai's True Adventure Hilux promotion. She now claims that title as the winner for the Momase region.
The lucky winner for the Momase region was Jenny Anapato from Morobe province. Anapato, while receiving her brand new Hilux prize, expressed her gratitude. She said she sells at the market for a living and cannot read and write much. One of her nephews wrote her name and entered for the Trukai's True Adventure Hilux promotion. She said she is happy she won a Toyota Hilux and this would change her life forever. Trukai Industries Limited Regional Sales Manager for Momase, Clint Hame, said that he was pleased to present the vehicle to Jenny. Hame said it is an honor to see Trukai reach people through its brand and the power it has when they have promotions that is a reward to their consumers, the people. Trukai's True Adventure promotion commenced in December 2022 and concluded in January 2023 with more than 7,800 entries for Momase alone. Trukai Industries Limited's marketing manager Marion Tom congratulated the lucky winner from Momase. Tom said they hope to continue to offer innovative promotions to their consumers in the future and said a next big promotion may happen soon. With the conclusion of the New Guinea Islands and Momase draw, total entry counts are now at 11,800 for both New Guinea Islands and Momase regions. Trukai also concluded with the Highlands region's draw yesterday in Mount Hagen. The final draw will take place for the Southern region in Port Moresby on the 10th of this month. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. As a testament to Trukai's commitment to investing in local rice farming, testing of different agricultural crops, training of local farmers and providing sustainability kits for subsistent and semi-commercial farming, the rice giant is breaking ground for the construction of 2 dome sheds, 2 silos, a rice drying facility and a mini seed cooling room and an office space. This is part of a 5-year private-public partnership agreement signed between the PNG University of Technology and Trukai Industries last October.
Sunrise Group Chief Executive Officer Rob Gordon, in officiating this ceremony, says Trukai, being a subsidiary of Sunrise Group and also leader of the rice industry in PNG, has the responsibility to develop programs to benefit the local people in places where Trukai operates in. Gordon says this partnership with Unitech demonstrates Trukai's support for local rice farmers through the Trukai Smart Farmer program. He adds the Trukai Smart Farmer program is an opportunity that demonstrates both companies' core values of innovation, sustainability and community.
The Sunrise Group through Trukai has been supporting agricultural development in Papua New Guinea since 1989. We've had a number of initiatives up in the Markham Valley. We set up with co-ops there to grow rice. But frankly, I think the most enduring and sustainable way of developing the rice industry here is through a grassroots approach, teaching people how to grow rice on their own land for their own sustainability, and as Alan has said, potentially to develop cash crops as well as feeding their own community. The fact that this is at a grassroots level, that we're able to have farmers graduate and go back to their own land and then have a visit, I gather, from our experts to see how they're going, make sure that this is actually something that they repeat. I gather that we've also had farmers now in certain parts of the country who are multiple croppers who've been doing this for years, which does talk to the sustainability.
Trukai Industries, with the support of Sunrise Group, has been supporting agriculture in PNG, especially local rice development, since 1989. Trukai CEO Alan Preston says Trukai is a partner in agriculture and is proud of the progress of the Smart Farmers program so far.
What you see here is 10 hectares of success and achievement. 105 farmers were trained here in January on how to grow rice, how to take that insight and that experience and that learning back to their village and with Trukai's help and to grow rice for their family and maybe for the local market. And I take really no credit in what's been achieved. It's a Trukai team led by Hone has been the architects and the designers of this program. And
CEO Preston also thanked the university for their support to the Trukai Smart Farmers program. The university also extended their appreciation to Trukai for choosing to work with them. PNG University of Technology Acting Vice-Chancellor Dr. Gary Sali says, in partnership with Trukai, the university is focused on training world-class technocrats for the real world. Dr. Sali says Unitech is looking forward to being part of this expansion of the rice industry to impact the lives of the ordinary people. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
West New Britain Province has witnessed the legal year opening 2023 yesterday at the Kimbe Seventh-day Adventist Church in Kimbe. Present to speak at the event was Justice John Numapo, Country Solicitor General Tauvasa Tanuvasa, and the Governor of the province, Sindran Mutuvel.
The traditional opening began with the procession of the members of the Justice Fraternity and the members of the police and correctional services. Key messages were highlighted by Justice Joseph Numapo, who urged the people and officers to uphold the integrity of the law. He said in this era, it is sad and frightening to see young teenagers in the courts found to be causing an offense or breaking the law, and stressed that parents have a role to play by raising their children up rightfully so they can avoid problems. Solicitor General Tauvasa Tanuvasa elaborated on the three arms of government, the judiciary, legislature, and the executive. He said the government is everyone and not just Waigani. He urged the disciplinary forces, the courts, and lawyers to uphold the integrity of the law and set a legacy for the coming generation to look up to and follow. West New Britain Governor Sasindran Muthuvel acknowledged their speeches and alluded upon the same sentiments and urged them to lead by example individually. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
The signing of land usage agreement between the developers of Labu's Special Economic Zone in Morobe and the Labu villages were not completed as expected, as two villages are yet to sign the agreement. However, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited and the AG Energy were able to sign the agreement with Labu Tale villagers last week Friday.
The two villages, Labu Miti and Labu Butu, have not signed the agreement for a special economic zone due to certain factors. This is because they have not fully understood the contents of the agreement and need more consultation and awareness. Ward 8 Labu Butu Councillor Kipu Anonga said the people are prepared to sign the agreement, but more consultation is needed before they can sign the agreement for land use. He said his people are supporting the feasibility studies to go ahead, and the outcome of this study will determine if they will give their consent or not for the development to start on the Labu Special Economic Zone. Anonga further cleared that the refusal to sign the agreement does not mean they will not be able to sign the document. Ward 5 Councillor Levi Soko said majority of his people have agreed to sign, but it was only the minority that still need to be made fully aware. He said he will engage Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited and AG Energy representatives to conduct further awareness on the content of the agreement, making it understandable for the villages. He said the whole community wants feasibility studies to take place in order for them to know if special economic zone is suitable for their land. Meanwhile, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited Board Chairman Dr. Benedict Yaru said the people's refusal to sign the agreement is normal and the people will be given enough time for them to be made fully aware of what they are trying to do before signing can take place in the near future. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
The cost of catering remandees has become a concern for Boram Correctional Service in East Sepik Province. During the opening of the judicial ear in Wewak yesterday, Commanding Officer of the Boram CS Superintendent Aaron Menau appealed to the judges and responsible officers in the judiciary and police prosecution to handle the cases of persons on remand quickly so it will ease the financial burden of the correctional service.
Superintendent Menau said there are over 200 remandees currently waiting to attend their court cases. As such, the prison is currently overcrowded and causing many inconvenience.
To address the situation that confronted in jails, most of the situations that we face are from remandees. Their time waiting for their cases to be heard always delayed. Some of them, they stayed in the prison for 2 to 3 years. Normally cause frustration. Also nampak looking plenty or heavy, such as mass escape, riot, plenty or situations that come up. It's mostly from the remandees.
He said there was only one court second last year, and for this reason, many of the remandees are still waiting in prison, and it is costing the prison a lot of money to cater for them.
And by reducing more pressure, the situations we have in the prison. With the current situations, financial situation, cost to run the jail is very expensive. Right, especially rations, 3 meals a day. For Boram, it's almost 65,000 to 70,000 to feed prisoners for 1 month. So this is very expensive. We have court second, court sittings, and then we reduce some of those situations or burdens that we are going through.
Superintendent Menau said he is grateful the judiciary has assigned a judge to run court circuits in the province, and he believes this will fast-track cases and will ease the burden of the prison. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Ongoing social law and order problems faced in Western Province can be reduced if people maintain good social behavior in their villages. Provincial Police Commander for Northfly, Oena Ofeka, says Northfly District, including the province, has seen low crime rate and police officers are continuing to perform their duties.
Maintaining public safety lies on the hands of all citizens in Western Province. PPC Afeke revealed to EMTV News today that alcohol consumption is causing more problems. However, no major crimes have been reported within the district and the province.
Drug abuse, homebrew, and boombox culture. I think these are major issues here in this.
He says stricter rules should be imposed on shops selling liquor without license so that ongoing social issues in respective communities can be reduced. He clarified that a minor crime being reported beginning of this year is alcohol related. This has affected the behavior of the people. PPC Afeke encouraged individuals not to get involved in such activities. He added that those who break the laws and rules of the society will be dealt dealt with accordingly and has called on people in Western Province to maintain good order in their communities. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
The Pacific Islands Forum Fisheries Agency is holding a regional meeting in Nadi this week to discuss human rights issues such as working conditions at sea and in processing plants. Of the estimated 27,000 Pacific Islanders employed in the tuna fisheries sector, the dialogue summons two industry representatives, governments and civil society organizations to discuss the linkages between human rights, gender equality, social inclusion and productivity in tuna fisheries.
The dialogue aims to increase understanding on human rights, gender and social inclusion issues currently faced in the region and how the fisheries sector can better address these issues using a human rights-based approach and applying a gender and social inclusion lens to improve the access to decent employment and working conditions in the tuna industry. Dr. Erja Askola, Chad D. Affairs, acting head of delegation of the European Union for the Pacific, says the European Union and the Pacific have a common interest and responsibility to make sure that tuna fisheries are managed in a sustainable way. The harvest sector in the tuna industry is normally dominated by men, while women are mostly employed as line workers in the processing sector. Safety and health concerns, poor working conditions, challenges faced by migrant fishers, and gender-blind workplaces are not only failing to meet human rights standards, but will have a negative impact on the tuna industry's effectiveness to attract workers, access overseas markets, and maintain a good reputation. FFA Director General Dr. Manu Tupau Rusen says it is vital that the management and development of tuna fisheries is sustainable biologically, economically, and socially, and that the benefits and opportunities are equally shared and accessed by all Pacific people. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2765 US, $0.3983 Australian dollars, $0.2503 euro, 36.21 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Moving overseas now, and relief efforts hampered by aftershock in the Turkey-Syria earthquake.
Running for their lives, shaken to their foundations, whole buildings fell. And across southern Turkey, peace became panic. People helped where they could. This was a series of powerful earthquakes, not just one. They were only around 20 kilometers under the surface, and shallow quakes caused the most damage. In towns and cities across a huge area, the rescue efforts began. With diggers and sniffer dogs, teams of people began to dig frantically in search of survivors. For decades, Turkey has been bracing itself for a huge quake. Tonight, everyone is a rescuer, and they all want to find a survivor.
Çocuk çıktı, çocuk çıktı.
It's a painful wait for news.
There are people still trapped under rubble. I have a friend living in this apartment. His children were rescued from the top floor, but only his daughter broke an arm. We'll see what happened to those living on the ground floors. May God give us a speedy recovery.
I was sleeping when my wife suddenly woke me up. The quake was very severe, very scary. It took almost 2 minutes until the shaking stopped.
Outside Turkey, the world stands ready to help. Offers to send specialist equipment and teams of experts have been coming in all day.
China admits to owning second large balloon in airspace.
China's foreign ministry, when asked, confirmed that the second balloon spotted in recent days over Latin America and the Caribbean is, once again, from China. It's a similar story to the balloon that was spotted in US airspace. Beijing says this one is a civilian balloon. It was on some sort of test flight. It only had limited ability to control its flight path, and because of climate conditions, it veered well off its intended route. So this is not likely to lead to the same sort of diplomatic issues that we saw with the balloon in US airspace, but it is awfully embarrassing for China's government because, of course, people are asking all over the world now just how many of these Chinese surveillance balloons are up there.
A team investigating last year's plane crash in Nepal has revealed that an engine on the plane had no power when it crashed.
The Yeti Airlines flight was carrying 72 people, including an Australian, from Kathmandu to the tourist town of Pokhara. Everyone on board died. The panel's analysis of the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder has found the propellers of both engines went into feather, meaning there was no thrust.
At least 5 Palestinians were killed during a gunfight with Israeli troops.
Well, this is the scene of the Israeli military raid that happened here in Jericho. The military says it was acting in conjunction with the Shin Bet security forces to target a terror cell that had tried to carry out an attack on settlers in the last week, not too far from here. They said that they were successful in their attempt at thwarting this cell. Hamas, which is the Islamic militant group that runs Gaza, says the men who were killed here were affiliated with them, with Hamas, and they have promised retaliation.
Nobody cares about the Palestinians. All the world is the enemy of the Palestinians. What did we do? What did we do?
The proper response to terrorism is to strike at it and to deepen our roots in the soil of our homeland.
Now, Jericho, which is in the occupied West Bank, isn't a typical target for Israeli military raids. Usually that's reserved for places like Jenin and Nablus, what we've known are the typical militant strongholds in the West Bank. This raid here is just proof of Israel's commitment to, in its words, step up security operations across the West Bank following what has been an incredibly violent and deadly start to 2023 in this region, the most violent period this region's seen in more than a decade.
National EMTV News continues after a break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. After having been through a hiatus of 2 years due to COVID-19 and the pandemic, PNG RFL board have officially opened its doors to localized leagues and schools rugby leagues and other leagues that are not affiliated to PNG RFL can now join through submitting their expressions of interest.
The 2023 season is already looking bright for local rugby leagues, including schools rugby league competitions and all the other non-members of the PNG RFL body, as they can now join PNG RFL by submitting their expressions of interest directly to PNG RFL. This also goes in line with the New Island model aimed at assisting local leagues in terms of governance and to offer standardized competitions for the leagues to play at a more professional level. This was highlighted by PNG RFL competition coordinator Saku Ang following the press conference held yesterday.
Model that will help our local leagues in terms of governance, football and commercial going forward to standardize games to play at the professional level. So the expression of interest as we put on the dailies to invite local leagues, existing leagues and potential new leagues as well.
PNG RFL Game Development and Participation Officer Nigel Hukula said through the New Island model, rugby league will gain momentum commencing at the community level right up to the national rugby league competitions.
The whole purpose of this expression of interest is to start getting the momentum of rugby league going back in the community. And I use the word community as a precursor towards what we envisage the game will be looking like. There's been a lot of focus on many different areas, but community rugby league is some area that PNG RFL has seen that this is the foothold and the base of a lot of our other programs.
According to PNG RFL, it has been a practice for some local leagues to pay ahead affiliation fees without receiving the proper guidelines to administer their competitions and be properly sanctioned, hence the opening of the affiliations. In strengthening these statements, PNG RFL CEO Stanley Hondina revealed that PNG RFL body is going out into the public to inform their stakeholders involved, be it rugby leagues, affiliates, associates, major and minor, that PNG RFL categorized them and that rugby league is back to normal for local leagues. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
The PNG Olympic Committee, through its Youth Athlete Development Workshop, recently held a week-long workshop from the 21st of January 2023.
A total of 127 participants from the 26 national federations attended the 5 workshops across the 4 main regional centers around the country. The Youth Athlete Development Workshop is in line with the PNG Olympic Committee's Team PNG Performance Strategy 2021 to 2024, which has a key focus on talent identification and development under its development pathways to help its members and affiliate national federations build their talents. During the workshop, it has been discussed that there are a lot of challenges faced by sports in the outer provinces of the 4 regions, of which the 3 main ones identified were the lack of communication from national federations down to the members, the lack of resources to help drive regional sports programs, and the lack of sports coaches to drive development. PNG Olympic Committee Secretary General Alvita Rapila says part of the sustained success of Team PNG for future generations involves planning for the future with close collaboration from key stakeholders being PNG Sports Foundation and the affiliates of the PNG Olympic Committee. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports now. In AFL, the former Carlton coach believes that chemistry amongst the players could be the key to them winning the finals.
The last 2 Coleman medalists were able to grow as a pair. Last year in particular, given Curnow was really able to have a free run without injury. Curnow has said that he wants to have another consistent season, hoping to stay injury-free and back up the form that he showed last year. As a duo, they added 109 goals between them. Curnow won the Coleman with his 64-goal tally.
Aussie star batsman and captain Aaron Finch has announced his retirement.
Once ranked the best short-form batter in the world, Finch captained 76 games for Australia and led the national side to a T20 World Cup win in 2021. He also holds the world record for highest score in a T20 international, smashing 172 against Zimbabwe back in 2018. He says it's time to hand the reins over ahead of the next World Cup in 2024.
The time is right to let the T20 team move on into a new phase, particularly with a World Cup coming up in 2024. I think that the time is right to allow them enough time and space to allow a new captain to take over and move the team in their direction. And it's been a pretty amazing journey, so thank you to everyone. It's been a pretty amazing ride, and I don't think it's until you finish up that you sit back and you reflect on it and you realise some of the friendships that you've made and some of the experiences that you've had over 12 years playing for Australia. It's pretty amazing.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, all centres cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Lae, Wewak and Vanimo cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm. Madang cloudy with some showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, all centres cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorm. And in the Highlands region, all centres cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, the 7th of February 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Gold Nuggets.